Welcome to the realistic day in the life of a 40-something US American living in Turin, Italy. I moved into this apartment in April and I'm still so far from being settled in. I had so many big plans to paint the walls, buy some cool vintage furniture, and all kinds of projects I wanted to work on. But 8 months later, here I am still cooking on the single burner induction stove that was supposed to be just temporary. One problem is when I have so many things to do, I freeze up and just don't do any of them. But now I have a bigger problem. I recently got this invoice from my landlord showing an estimate of how much I'll be paying for heat this winter. I personally think it's way too high for a one-bedroom place. My landlord said the amount would be adjusted based on how much I actually use the heat. But if you live in Italy, let me know, is it normal to be billed for heat in advance before you even used it? This is my first time in a building with centralized heating, so I don't really know how it works. I can't really change the efficiency of the heating system, but I can do my best to keep the heat from escaping through these old, worn-out windows. Most Italian apartments come with these shutters on the outside, and in the summer they work really well for keeping the apartment cool, but I don't really feel like they do much to keep the place warm in the winter. The bedroom already had a curtain rod, so I had some curtains from my old apartment that I put up, but I think they're too sheer and too short for this window. I really want to get blackout curtains because that will really help with insulation and hopefully hold the heat in the winter. I have in the past just ordered stuff from Amazon that I need for the apartment, but I really am trying to shop more locally. So today we're going to some of my favorite budget-friendly places to find home decor here in Turin. I've had this recurring mental block where I procrastinate decorating every time I move into an apartment. I'm sure it's because I've moved so many times that I have this fear that anytime I create a sense of permanence or stability, that somehow it'll be jinxed and I'll have to move all over again. So I just need to push past the thoughts that I should wait until I have enough money saved to get what I want or enough time to do everything all at once. But the truth is, getting it done is better than getting it perfect. I found the curtains and they do have a lot of cute patterned ones, but I am looking for something more neutral and I really need curtains that are extra long, so it doesn't look like they have what I need. The next stop is a store called Action. It can be a little hit or miss and it's a little disorganized, but you really can't beat the prices for basic home decor like fake plants and bedding and stuff that you would pay a lot more for at the specialty shops. I finally found the curtains. They have very few options, but this blackout one could work. I do like the neutral color. And I scored a really cute puzzle, which is my new hobby to cut down on screen time. And we're on to the next place. The next store I'm going to is actually closed until 3 o'clock. So I'm stopping into this cute coffee shop I've been wanting to try. They have a lot of really fancy coffee drinks on the menu, but I just ended up getting a regular espresso because I really wanted to try one of their desserts. They all looked really amazing, but the mooncake was one of the few that was gluten-free and dairy-free. It looked really pretty, but I wasn't a huge fan of the texture, kind of pasty and dense. But the service is great there and the coffee was good, so I will definitely be back again. The Mercatino Usato is an Italian thrift store. I've gotten some good stainless steel pots and some kitchen stuff from here. I always take a look at the art section to see what catches my eye. This one has a smaller selection of furniture, but sometimes you'll find some cool vintage pieces. I did find a small section of old linens, but it was pretty disorganized and I didn't feel like digging through, so I decided to skip it. This store reminds me the most, I think, of TJ Maxx, and it also has Maxx in the name, but I don't think it's any relation. I don't really buy many clothes here, but they do have some good basics like accessories and scarves and things that you might need for the winter. I'm heading straight for the home section, of course. Right away I found a whole aisle of curtains, including a bunch of different colors of blackout curtains. I do come here a lot, I have to say, because it's just so convenient. But honestly, my favorite thing about this store is there's a food section, but it's pretty much mostly Asian foods and a lot of different snacks. I do come here for some sauces and ingredients for my Asian food that I make at home. Now it's time to put everything up. As someone who is not a professional and probably should have a taller ladder, I think it looks instantly better, and I know I'll sleep better because I really love the room to be super dark, but I still need to let light in during the day, so I'm going to reuse the same curtains I had for the sheer layer underneath, and eventually I want to get another curtain rod or like a double curtain rod, but I don't have the tools for that yet, so I just got this tension rod. It wasn't too hard to put up. I got this hand steamer that I've never used before, but it works really well to get the wrinkles out of the curtains because I didn't have the patience to run them through the wash right away. So there's the final look. Having a physical reason to make my space more comfortable is a really good motivator for me. It forces me to be more creative and work with what I have now rather than sit here freezing all winter, waiting and planning for some future point when I feel stable enough to finally tackle all these tasks I've been putting off. If I just get them done, my life ends up being so much easier. Because the radiator is so close to the window, I didn't feel comfortable putting curtains on the outside, so I used a tension rod again. At first I tried to use the curtains that I have again, but I don't think they really work for the winter, so I switched it out for a different style of blackout curtain. This one is thicker and more of a linen feel. I just used one panel because I know I'll have to put it aside for light during the day, and I just didn't want it to be too bulky. But I think it'll do its job at keeping the room warm, and I like the way it looks. I also got a few of these bolster things, not sure what they're called. We'll see if it helps, but I don't think it can hurt. I obviously can't control what will happen in the future. All I can do is try to build some sense of permanence here and try to block out those negative thoughts whispering that I should keep my bags packed for the inevitable day when I'll have to leave and find a new place to live again. The more curtains I hang, the more rugs I roll out, the more I add to my apartment to make it my own. Everything helps to convince myself that this really is my home, and eventually I'll have to believe it.